Hey guys, and welcome to game number 91 out of 100 of the Mack vs. Machine series, where I'll be playing 100 games of Scrabble against the top online bot, HastyBot. I'm currently sitting at 53.5 wins, so the series has been clinched, but it would be pretty cool to get to 60 wins if we can, so we're going to do the best we can today and for the rest of this series. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. Looks like we're going to be first this game, and we've got a decent rack to start. The Z's going to make it pretty tough to bingo. So thinking maybe just something like Zit or Tiz. Probably Tiz because Zit takes it back I and S, and I don't have either of those. Tiz looks pretty good, scores 24, keeps A and RT, which is a very strong bingo leaf. I don't have a way, as far as I can tell, to play a 5-letter word that puts the Z on a double underscore, which would score a lot of points, so I think this should be fine. Huh, interesting. So HastyBot just plays Ego Ties through the Tiz on the board. And I don't think any bingos, unfortunately. It's a very high probability rack, comes up a lot, but doesn't make any 8s with the tiles on this board. We need like a R for renature, a D for under 8 denature, numerate with an M, uncreate with a C, Saturn with an S, and maybe one or two other things, but nothing with the tiles on this board. So what do we do? That's the question. If we want to just score points, we could play reagent through this G for 32. It's not particularly exciting. Keeps just a U. Also gives back a pretty big spot under this E, especially if he pulled an X. So I'm not a huge fan of that play, but it does score a lot more than other options. I guess we could also just fish with U for 5. It's kind of tough to stomach giving up 27 points on one play. And also without a hook to egotize, I'm also just not that confident in our ability to play a bingo next turn, depending on what he does. There's also nature over here. What's that? 24. So that scores 8 less than reagent. It keeps the E over the U, which is considerably better. Doesn't give back the X spot. It does give back this triple, but that's not a big concern, I don't think, with the R next to the double letter. If the R were a vowel, that would be a lot scarier, as he could double a 4-point tile both ways, but he can't do that here, so that's not a bad idea. It's probably close between nature and reagent. I don't think the E is quite 8 points better than the U in a vacuum. It's probably 5 or 6 better. Nature also does take out the egotize hooks, which is probably good for us. So I think I'm leaning towards nature now. I definitely don't want to just play something like Ain. I do want to get rid of that U if I'm going to play here. If I'm going to give up points and not play reagent, then there's no reason to do that unless I'm getting rid of the U. So I think I'm going to go with nature. I don't really have any shorter plays there that score well. I can't play O or anything like that, EAU. I think that's probably fine. Okay, so he plays duo there for a couple. So yeah, that did pay off because he probably would have had something decent with ego ties. And now what? Wagonette almost, but we need another E in addition to this O. Maybe something with Zag? Just play like Gat or something. Or Gate, but I wouldn't want to get rid of that E for only 3 points. That's not bad. Keeps a W, which is not ideal, but 26 is a decent score. Let's see, do we have anything from this in? I don't think we do. Oh, actually we have Twang here. Yeah, that's way better. I didn't see in at first, but yeah, that's got to be the best play. I mean, it scores 33, gets rid of the W and the G. So he plays Bio, a pretty rough draw here of 2 U's. The last remaining U's in the game. He does give back some good overlaps, though. Probably Fumet has to be right. Scores well, gets rid of one of the U's. Not too worried about an F in the triple line there. So that's got to be the best play. Alright, so he just plays File, and we should be bingoing, I would imagine. Yeah, we're definitely bingoing. We have things like unpaired through this. Yeah, we actually have underpaid. That's cool. Has a 9 for 76. Is that our best play? It might be. Unless, I don't think I have anything hooking egotized here with 2 U's. It's going to be a bit tough. Anything from this E, maybe overlapping here with TD? I don't see it off the top of my head. It's worth spending a few seconds, though. Yeah, there aren't a lot of 7s with this rack. So I don't think we're going to have anything. Updating also plays to this G, but it's quite risky and scores less than underpaid. I don't see any 8s that start with this E. We have Dolphin is a 7. Dolphin here would play. It still scores less than underpaid, though. It puts a D in the triple line, so I think underpaid is probably the best play. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything that scores more, and this is not particularly bad for the board, so let's do that. Okay, Fireside to come back for the bot, and another nice draw here. Let's see, I guess we have Actioned or Cadenoid through this O at the minimum. Incudate doesn't fit. It's the only 8 through that U. No 7s here. Nothing's going to fit through that I anymore. So it might be only Actioned and Cadenoid that are available. Don't think we have any 8s through this E. Yeah, I don't think there's anything through that A either. So, okay. Which one do we want to do? I guess Action, just because it doesn't also float the C. I mean, that's such a marginal difference. On the other hand, Cadenoid does make it a little bit harder for him to overlap down there and possibly open something later. So that maybe makes Cadenoid slightly preferable. Although Actioned also does take out that A and underpaid for the most part, both for bingos and also high scoring plays like Waxy or something like that that could be helpful to him. So I think Actioned is probably best. So I'm going to go ahead and play that. Okay, the bot plays Olio, and let's see, we're up a lot. We're up 90. So we're in a very good position. No blanks left. I guess I probably should just score with whales here. I mean, it's 43 points. It takes out a big scoring spot. I definitely don't want to allow plays like Java's over there. Also, 9 vowels, 27 consonants. If we look at this pool, EO is actually a pretty good leave because I'm so likely to draw an abundance of consonants next turn. So yeah, actually a really shocking play by the bot of Olio there considering this pool. So that makes me think the bot probably has 2 more vowels, which means there are even fewer vowels for me to draw. So yeah, whales seems pretty good. I would not be shocked to see a draw of 5 consonants here. But let's see. Okay, 4 consonants. Enormity doesn't fit. Now the bot plays 2 consonants. I mean, I should be pretty safe here. It's going to be hard for the bot to bingo twice. I'm also going to be scoring a lot here. I have Yam over here. That's 42 points. Keeps EINR. I could even hit something to the ING next turn and egotize. That looks really solid. Alright, the bot opens some new lines with Braved, which makes sense. And have the X. Don't have any bingos here. I probably should just drop XI in the corner. I mean, I could block. I guess I could block too. I mean, I don't necessarily think I need to block because the bot's going to need 2 bingos at least to come back, and that's probably not even going to be enough. I'm not too worried about the Q. I do still have the QIS spot next to Fireside and Whales. But maybe there is some merit to keeping the I just in case. I guess Locks is also fine. Scores 29. It doesn't score that many less, only 7 less than XI. It also blocks double-doubles from this R, which could score a lot. So maybe at this score it's a slightly more prudent play. Keeps the I in case I draw QI. I have multiple spots for it. Yeah, I think at this score Locks is just slightly more prudent. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Alright, now come the consonants. So the bot plays Freck, and I do indeed draw the Q. So now I'm very happy I played Locks, as I could play QI. I wonder if it's worth considering just dropping the Q, though, for 12 less points. Like, do I bingo here at all? The eye is a nice tile with that pool. It's not quite as constant heavy anymore now, though, after the bot's last couple of plays. So an A hits Reaving and Vinegar, but I don't actually think either of those play. Raveling doesn't fit, nothing through the B. Yeah, I don't think an E is going to hit either. Veering doesn't play anywhere. Overing, yeah, actually, I don't think, even with an Estra, with serving, reversing, I'm not going to have anything playable. So I don't actually see a ton of merit to giving up the points here, even from a spread standpoint. I mean, it does keep an extra vowel, which is nice, but I'm likely enough to draw an A or some other vowel anyway after QI. I think I'm better off just taking this. I also block plays like Haj or Taj above locks. That'll score a lot for him, so I think QI here is correct. Okay, so we draw 2 S's. Interesting. Bot plays How. There's still a J unseen. Definitely not going to lose at this point. Just trying to think what the best thing would be for spread. I did notice that my spread is really low. It's like 33 points positive over this whole series. So in addition to winning the series, it would be, I think, a good goal to try to at least finish with positive spread. That would be pretty funny to win the series by a big margin and finish with a negative spread. So hopefully we can also finish with a positive spread. So I'll try to play for spread as much as I can these last few games. Okay, so are there any bingo threats for the bot? I doubt it. I mean, if J, Y are in the bag, there's nothing through the B or the F. There's definitely nothing with a J. I don't think there's anything with a Y either. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. So I don't think the bot is a threat to bingo. Do I have any possibilities of bingoing? Like, what if I play Vets? Do I have a chance to draw bingo? If I draw, like, A, E, Freegans doesn't fit, Rebegan doesn't take an S. Yeah, I just don't really think there's anywhere to bingo. That's the problem. So I guess I should probably, I don't know, it's going to be pretty tough for me to play out in 2. There's just not a lot of places to play a lot of tiles on this board, and I don't have much with Thrax. I don't think I should play Revs. That gives back easy plays like Gear for a lot, potentially. Vegs is no good. Maybe something with Egotizes? How about Sung? It's not bad, VERS. I actually have a decent chance then of drawing a 6 with Thrax. That might give me the best chance to go out, I think, next turn. And it's kind of annoying for him to block. So I actually kind of like Sung. It scores well, too. I think that makes sense. Okay, so he plays Raj, and Ravi doesn't take an S, so I don't think I have an out. Does the bot have an out with Teen on its rack? Maybe not. Teen is the only 4. No 5s with an F, or a B, or a K. Well, Kent, K-E-N-T-E, but it doesn't play there. Yeah, I don't think the bot can actually go out. So, with that in mind, I can just slow play this and try to go out in 2. I mean, the bot's clearly going to be able to play out in 2 turns, but it just can't go out immediately. So, let's see. Now maybe I just play... Well, I can't play Vars because that gives him Eden. I can't play Revs because that would give him Turn or Rent through the R. So, it's not that easy for me to play with Thrax without giving back an out. Maybe I do something else first and save an out there. Like if I play off AY somewhere, or just, no, a verse doesn't work. I could also just like play off the Y. I guess he can block a verse though. It's not easy for him to block. I mean, he can just play like, if he just plays Et or something, and I know HastyBot isn't going to do this, but like just thinking in terms of if HastyBot played optimal endgames, I could still play Braves. I don't think he can block everything. He doesn't really have anything to this K. If he plays Eek, I have Reek. Bent or Beat, I can play a verse over here. Like, he can't stop me from going out. So Yo is probably fine. I have a few more seconds, so I'll just take a look. I can't score more for that Y as far as I can see. Yeah, I don't think so. Alright. Yeah, let's just do that. And he plays let, and now I'll go out with a Verz and Frax. So, okay, 465 to 311. Fairly clinical game. Felt like the bot just never really was able to get anything going, and I didn't start out too well, but I had some good draws later on that gave me a pretty big edge. The underpaid action back-to-back was a pretty key point in the game, and at that point I was able to just kind of keep things tight and hold on. So not the most eventful game, but still interesting, and let's take a look at the analysis. So early on, yeah, Tiz looks good. Once again, definitely better than Zit, because Zit takes an I and an S, and I don't have either of those. Yeah, Egotize is a nice play by the bot. Clearly best here, right? You're definitely better off saving the D and trying to hook it next turn, and it also helps balance your rack. So yeah, Reagent comes up, I guess about a point better on static, which is about what I would have guessed. I would have thought E is like 6, 7 maybe points better than the U. HastyBot's saying it's almost exactly 7 points better, which seems reasonable. I would have thought a U is like -5 or 6, and then E is like +1. So that makes sense, but I think given that, nature is fine. Just because it takes out the Egotize took, and Egotizes, it doesn't give back a big X spot, and just keep things a little bit tighter in general. Also, early on, I put a even higher premium on keeping a better lead just because I'm trying to bingo as soon as I can. So, perfectly good with this decision. He plays Duo. Yeah, glad I saw Twang here. It's obviously way, way better than Gat. Rough draw for the bot, drawing BII. Yeah, I guess there's not much else to do other than Bio here. I mean, it's still better than exchanging. Certainly, HastyBot's evaluation of EIIS as a positive leave is questionable. I mean, I guess with the S, it's still positive. I don't know. Plus 2.56 seems a little bit high to me. I'm not entirely sure, but I guess this is still considerably better than exchanging because ES alone is not worth nearly 21 points. Fumet looks clearly best. Wow. Another I for the bot. And yeah, here File again is, I mean, gotta be worth it. But not by a ton. You see exchanging is actually the second best play. That's how bad this rack is. So yeah, really rough stuff for the bot. Underpaid is the best play here. I saw all these other options, Dauphine, Updating, and Unpaired, but they all score less and give back a lot more. So Underpaid definitely the best play. Finally a good draw for the bot, bingoing with Fireside. And yeah, it was between Action and Cadnoid here. I actually didn't consider not bingoing. It's not the craziest idea, just because this is a potent scoring spot with another D and 3 S's in scene. Also, the J and the X and the Q are there, so something like Java's or Jive would really hurt. At this score, I mean, if I do this, I go up about 100 and take out that scoring spot. Of course, bingoing now does take out some bingo lines as well, which is another threat. But given the pool, there's no blanks left. There's a lot of high point tiles. A big scoring play may actually be a bigger threat to me than a bingo. So, I don't know. I don't think I would do it. I probably should have at least considered it. It didn't even occur to me to not bingo here. I don't think it's best, but it probably would have been worth considering. So, interesting position. Okay, Olio for the bot. Yeah, that's probably not great, just given the pool. At the same time, this is a really bad position. I mean, he's up 115. He's rapidly running out of places to bingo. The hook for Egotize is not going to be that easy to use now for a bingo with the U there. Maybe Duo is a little bit better. Try to draw something through this E. I don't know. I also kind of like taking out this scoring spot. I think I would have played Load, just to make sure I can't score a lot there and really run away with it. Like, maybe play Load, hope I can't really score much. Like, maybe hope I drew a bunch of consonants, and then somehow hope to draw something through this E. IoT is actually not a bad leave with this pool, considering how consonant heavy it is. So I think I would have gone with Load here if I were the bot. Yeah, because now I just get an easy play of Whales, and he's just completely toast. I mean, the problem with Olio, right, ADT is a slightly consonant-heavy leave. You're drawing into that pool, you draw 4 consonants. I mean, BHPV is still a horrendous draw, but yeah, now it's basically just over. Oh, I didn't actually see Moiety. I didn't see Twangy. That's a cool play. Yam is clearly better, though, to keep it tighter and keep the extra vowel, which is quite valuable in this pool. Braved looks good. Yeah, Locks here I think makes sense, just to be a little bit more defensive. And now the bot draws all the consonants. So yeah, pretty clinical game here. I think, yeah, Sun looks pretty good. Yeah, I mean, obviously that's not the best play. I'm just going to get V-stuck and then this just gives him an out. So yeah, I think my endgame play looks good. So yeah, pretty much a perfect game, I think, for me here, but I mean, my decisions were not all that tough. Probably early on were the most interesting turns, like nature was probably the most time I spent really on any decision, I would say. All my other turns were just fairly obvious. So yeah, fairly routine game, just definitely drew a lot better than the bot. Like, I drew pretty well, but it was more the bot was drawing absolute garbage after garbage, and just really could never get anything going. So yeah, that's that. Not the most interesting game in terms of in-depth analysis, probably, but still a cool game. Got a couple fun words down, including the 9-letter bingo of underpaid. So hope you guys enjoyed that, and we now improved to 54.5 wins going into game 92. So there are now 9 games to go, and yeah, as long as we can win 6 of those 9, we'll pass the 60-win mark. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, that's it for this one, guys. So thanks again for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.